Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, to begin with you, how much is the NDA banking on the direct cash transfer of 10,000 rupees, which has already gone down to 1 crore households across the state of Bihar? Because you're seeming to apply now what clearly worked beautifully in Maharashtra with the Ladki Bahin Yojana to the Jivika Didi Yojana in Bihar.
Well, this is not the only work we have done in the last 20 years. We have done successively many quality work for the benefit of the people of Bihar. And that is why I will not count only on this work or these efforts, which has really helped the common citizen of the state.
If you were so confident, Zafar Bhai, then what was the need of announcing all these, DBTs just ahead of elections in less than, in the last few weeks, I would say, 4 weeks to be specific? You have gone ahead and made all the announcements. These are direct benefit transfers, which is essentially cash which is in the hands of your voters.
I think, Maria, if you just go through the budget of Bihar, then you will realize that the budgetary provision was made in the budget itself for this announcement and for this work. The timing may change because of the various stages one has to take internal approvals and all. But the budgetary provision was made, and that's why this announcement can be comfortably made, because we have already made the budgetary provision. But let me tell you, it is not these efforts or other efforts. It is the confidence which the common man reposes in the leadership. And the common man reposes confidence in the leadership of Sushashan Babu, and the Vikas Purush is the Honorable Prime Minister. So we have a combo of Sushashan Babu as well as the Vikas Purush in the form of Nitish Kumarji and the Honorable Prime Minister. So the people have confidence in us. They will bless us purely because they have confidence in us, and they do not have confidence in Tejasvi Yadav or the poster boy of...
Well, we'll only know, Dr. Islam, that's we'll only know when that last vote is counted. We don't know on the day which it's going to be counted. So I'll circle back to you. You'll have enough time. Allow me to circle back to you. I just want to bring in Aishwarya Paliwal, who's joining us from the Election Commission, before we go back to our political guests. Aishwarya, I think, the biggest question right now is how many phases will the Bihar election be held in? That, is very keenly watched by all political watchers, including the parties. What are you hearing?
Well, Preeti, I'll just flip through the history pages and tell you, way back in 2010, the election was actually held in 6 phases. Then you move on to 2015, it was 5 phases. Then you come to 2020, then it was in 5 phases. And now when we are talking about it, it seems like it will be less than 3 phases. So that's exactly what we are also hearing at the moment. Sources are telling us that it will not be 3 phases. It will be less than 3 phases. That's something which we can confirm at the moment. And apart from Bihar, we will also have the announcement of the by-elections in 8 seats in 7 states. That's also something that the Commission is looking at. And you also heard, Preeti, all the political parties, after they had that last meeting with the Commission in the city of Patna, most of them came out and said that we have given out a request. We also want that it should be held in the minimum phases possible. So from what we are understanding at the moment, in all likelihood, Bihar election could be held in 2 phases.
And that Election Commission PC, the crucial Election Commission PC, is being held at Vigyan Bhavan. So in all... the significance of these elections, Rajdeep, we have been discussing multiple elections across the country, but why do you think Bihar is that crucible of politics that we keep talking about? A state where, covering elections you have enjoyed for decades.
Look, there are different reasons why Bihar matters. One, because there is no state where politics is as much of an industry as in Bihar. Everyone has an opinion in Bihar, whether you're contesting elections or not contesting elections. The man who will sell you likhi choka will have an opinion. There'll be the boatman who will have an opinion. There'll be the weaver who will have an opinion. People have strong opinions in Bihar, which makes it a very interesting state to cover. Having said that, I think Bihar is one of those states which has been caught almost in a time warp over the last 30 years. The Lalu Prasad Yadav and Nitish Kumar dualism, both children in a way of the Mandal revolution. Are we now entering a post-Mandal politics? We've seen a bit of that happen certainly in Uttar Pradesh. Bihar, on the other side, still seems caught in a time warp when it comes to caste allegiances. So the big question is, Will the MY, the Mahila Yuva, rise above caste allegiances? And is Bihar willing to look beyond the Lalu Prasad, Nitish Kumar era? This is, in a sense, probably the last election that a Nitish Kumar will fight. Lalu Prasad probably will hardly be seen in the campaign. So you're entering a post-Lalu-Nitish age, which I think is interesting, because you've got a Prashant Kishore with his Jan Suraj party who's trying to emerge as a potential third alternative. How he does will be interesting to watch. It's also interesting because remember, Rahul Gandhi has tried to be far more aggressive in the last few months with his vote chori campaign. He also targeted the SIR exercise. What impact does that actually have on the ground? Because the Congress for years now has been the Kamzor Kadi. The RJD-led alliance would have won 2020 if the Congress had punched above its weight. It just won 19 of the 70 seats. So that will be interesting, because the Congress, after the 2024 Lok Sabha, has suffered a series of setbacks, Maharashtra and Haryana being classic examples. And then I think Bihar is important because at the end of the day, Bihar represents, in a sense, the caste dynamics of this country, which, whether one likes it or not, are firmly entrenched in the politics of the Hindi heartland. And one has to see whether it has reached exhaustion point, whether people are looking for life beyond caste, and does the Modi factor influence Bihar politics as much in a state election as it does in a national. Having said all that, I do believe that the direct welfare benefits and what impact they have on the voter could well prove decisive. So does Bihar go beyond the politics of caste to see who is going to actually provide development? Can development really ever be a factor in Bihar politics, or is it, as the opposition is calling it, vote kharidi? I think all of this makes Bihar fascinating. It's one of the most fascinating states to cover. And having seen Bihar in the 1990s as a final point, that was the decade of real churning. I think that's when we really saw Bihar come alive, the break of the old order, upper caste dominated, emergence of backward caste leaders. Now, are we going to see the next stage, the post-mandal politics? That will be interesting to see.
And can Bihar really break out of caste mold is also the question. Something that we ask every election, something we know perhaps the answer of. Dr. Manisha Priyam joins us as well, political analyst, and we also have Sajjan Kumar. But the question that was being asked by Rajdeep here, Sujata Paul, is Congress really that Kamzor Kadi as you were in 2020? What is it that the Congress brings on this MJB table? There is a captive MY of Tejasvi Yadav, Muslim Yadav, which is roughly around 34-35%. What is it that the Congress is bringing into this alliance number?
As far as the Congress is concerned, we have seen it's not just in Bihar but across the country how Rahul Gandhiji's vote chori campaign has resonated with people, and people have come out on the streets, and in various forms we are seeing this slogan being resonated across the country. But in Bihar specifically, people have realized that this is a government which is a corrupt government, and this is second in corruption in the entire country. There are 2.9 crore people who live on less than 100 rupees per day. There are 38% households which have no access to toilets even today, when the Prime Minister says that we are defecation free. 70% of the population sleep hungry every single day in this particular state. 42% of the children are undernourished. 56.4% is the mortality rate. And if I go on to this data, it just goes on. But the most important thing is that the CAG report itself has shown this data, 70,877 crore rupees in 5 departments specifically, which includes the health department, the education department.
But it remains to be seen whether corruption in general can become a talking point in Bihar or not. So far, NDA led by Nitish Kumar has been talking about corruption of Tejasvi Yadav, or should I say the RJD government, which was 20 years ago. What about their own corruption? Something which Prashant Kishore is highlighting of alleged corruption of Vijay Chaudhary, of Ashok Chaudhary and others.